Hello, and welcome to Gentle and Clear English. Here, you will have great experiences with real stories in a clear, slow, and educational way about everyday life in America and around the world. So, enjoy, relax, and learn. In the mid-1990s, the Internet was still a wild and chaotic place. Searching for information online was often slow, confusing, and frustrating. People had to dig through countless web directories or use search engines that provided irrelevant or outdated results. But two young students at Stanford University were about to change everything. Larry Page and Sergey Brin met in 1995. At first, they didn't get along very well. Both were opinionated and passionate about technology, and they often clashed during discussions. But soon they realized that their differences were actually a strength. They began working together on a research project that would eventually evolve into one of the most powerful companies in the world. Their goal was simple but revolutionary: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. At that time, search engines like AltaVista and Yahoo were dominant, but they ranked websites based on how many times a search term appeared on a page. Larry and Sergey had a better idea. They developed a system called PageRank, which analyzed the number and quality of links pointing to a web page. The idea was that the more a page was linked to by other important pages, the more relevant it probably was. This approach provided more accurate and useful results, and it quickly became clear that their idea had incredible potential. They called their new search engine Backrub at first. It was a playful name that referred to the way their system checked backlinks. But they soon decided they needed a better name, something that reflected the vastness of their mission. They chose Google, a play on the word Google, which means the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It represented their ambition to handle massive amounts of information. In 1998, with their search engine gaining popularity on Stanford's campus, Larry and Sergey decided to take the next step. They needed funding. They wrote a business plan and reached out to investors. One of the first to believe in them was Andy Bechtolsheim, co-founder of Sun Microsystems. After a quick demo, he wrote them a check for 100 zero. The problem? Google wasn't a company yet, so they had to quickly set one up just to deposit the check. With funding secured, Larry and Sergey set up their first office in a garage in Menlo Park, California. The garage belonged to Susan Wojcicki, who would later become CEO of YouTube. In that small space, with a few desks, some computers, and a lot of determination, Google was born. The company grew rapidly. By 1999, they had raised more money from venture capital firms and moved into a proper office. Their team expanded, and so did their user base. Google's clean and simple homepage stood out in a time when other search engines were cluttered with ads and news. People appreciated how fast and accurate Google was. But the success of Google was not just about technology, it was also about culture. Larry and Sergey created a company that valued innovation, creativity, and fun. Their famous motto was, "Don't be evil." Employees, known as Googlers, enjoyed free meals, open workspaces, and the freedom to pursue side projects. This culture attracted some of the brightest minds in the industry. In 2000, Google made a bold move. It began selling advertising through a system called AdWords. Instead of flashy banner ads, Google showed small, text-based ads that were relevant to the search terms people used. Advertisers paid only when someone clicked on their ad. This model turned out to be incredibly effective and profitable. It transformed Google from a popular search engine into a money-making machine. As the revenue rolled in, Google expanded its ambitions. It launched new products like Google Images, Google News, and Google Maps. It bought companies like Blogger and YouTube. It introduced Gmail, a free email service with massive storage, and Chrome, a fast and secure web browser. Each of these moves strengthened Google's ecosystem and made it more essential to daily life. In 2004, Google went public. Its initial public offering IPO raised $167 billion, making it one of the largest tech IPOs at the time. Larry Page and Sergey Brin became billionaires overnight, but they weren't finished. They wanted Google to be more than just a search engine. They wanted it to be a platform for innovation. That same year, they launched Google Books, an ambitious project to digitize the world's books and make them searchable online. They also began working on self-driving cars, wearable technology, like Google Glass and artificial intelligence. In 2015, Google restructured itself under a new parent company called Alphabet. This allowed them to separate their core business from their more experimental ventures. Alphabet became the umbrella for Google and other companies like Waymo self-driving cars, Verily Healthcare, and DeepMind AI research. This structure gave each team more freedom to focus on its own goals while still being part of the larger vision. Over the years, Google has faced criticism and challenges. It has been accused of collecting too much data, favoring its own services in search results, and becoming too powerful. Governments around the world have investigated its business practices, and some have fined the company or demanded changes. Despite these issues, Google remains a central part of the Internet. Its products are used by billions of people every day. Whether you're checking your email, watching videos, getting directions, or searching for answers, chances are you're using Google. From a garage in California to offices around the world, Google's journey is a story of vision, persistence, and the power of information. Larry Page and Sergey Brin didn't just build a company, they changed the way we interact with knowledge. Their story reminds us that big ideas can come from humble beginnings, and that technology, when used wisely, can improve lives everywhere. But let's go even deeper into how Google's technology truly transformed the world. One of Google's greatest innovations was its infrastructure. Unlike traditional companies, Google built massive data centers to handle billions of queries every day. These data centers are among the most advanced in the world, using custom-built servers, energy-efficient systems, and complex algorithms to deliver results in milliseconds. Google also changed the way we advertise online. With Google AdSense, launched in 2003, website owners could earn money by displaying ads relevant to their content. This allowed small websites and bloggers to generate income, democratizing the web economy. At the same time, businesses could reach very specific audiences based on what people searched for, improving their marketing strategies. The acquisition of YouTube in 2006 was another turning point. At the time, YouTube was a growing platform where people shared short, personal videos. Google saw its potential and bought it for $165 billion. Today, YouTube is the world's largest video sharing platform and one of the most visited websites globally. It changed how we consume media, gave rise to countless creators, and created an entirely new industry, influencer marketing. Gmail, launched in 2004, revolutionized email by offering 1 gigabyte of storage, much more than competitors. It used powerful search features, conversation view, and smart filters. It quickly became the preferred email service for millions, and today, it's a key part of Google Workspace, which includes tools like Docs, Sheets, and Meet, enabling people to work and collaborate online from anywhere. Google Maps also changed how we move. Introduced in 2005, It gave people free, detailed maps of the world, real-time traffic data, and turn-by-turn navigation. It also introduced Street View, letting users explore places virtually. Whether you're finding a restaurant, planning a trip, or navigating a new city, Google Maps has become indispensable. Google's Android operating system, launched after it acquired a small startup in 2005, became the most popular mobile OS in the world. It powers billions of smartphones and tablets, making technology accessible to people even in remote regions. This allowed Google to enter the mobile space aggressively and ensure that its services were available everywhere. Artificial intelligence is another area where Google leads. With products like Google Assistant, smart speakers, and the Google Translate app, AI helps users in countless ways from answering questions to breaking language barriers. Google's AI research arm, DeepMind, achieved global recognition when its AlphaGo program defeated a world champion at the complex game of Go, proving the power of deep learning. In education, Google tools are now essential. Many schools use Google Classroom to organize assignments, share materials, and connect teachers with students. During the COVID-19 pandemic, these tools became lifelines for remote learning even. In healthcare, Google is making an impact. Its company Verily is working on wearable devices that can detect diseases early, and Google Health aims to make medical information more accessible and useful. Despite criticism about privacy and competition, Google continues to push boundaries. Its moonshot projects explore renewable energy, climate change solutions, and the future of computing with quantum technology. At the heart of it all, Google's mission hasn't changed much: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. What began as a student project has grown into a global force, shaping how we live, work, learn, and connect. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of the story: how two curious minds in a university lab, with a dream of better search results, ended up changing the world. This is the story of Google.